Hey there, in YouTube land, and if you've been watching my videos recently, you know that I started this big challenge thing, and who you are going to be brave enough to take it up. Well, we'll see how that goes. So right now we're doing the 90s. Yes, as you see, I've skipped over the 80s. I'm leaving the 80s, I think, till last. I'm going to be doing these in different orders, and we're going to talk about all my 90s horror with pretty much my Vanna White kind of guy. Yeah, you're going to be like fast over and talking to my partner in crime with basically apologies to Lynn Cara, the 90s guy.
That's true.
So let's start with what's the first 90s one there. Let's grab it.
Right, perfect.
And it is, so the first three of these, we're done in the 90s, I think?
I think it was the first three. I don't know about four.
And the fourth one was done definitely in 2000s. But we're going with the first two anyway. Tremors. This is the Attack Pack. It's also on Blu-ray now.
Yeah.
Very cool series. I really did like these. It was kind of a return to the old kind of cool monster movies.
Yeah.
The first one, for me, is the best.
Yeah.
And
really
Kevin Bacon's in it, so I'm a huge Kevin Bacon guy, so.
First and second one are really good. I don't.
What's your thoughts on Tremors?
Third one very well.
I know the fourth one was. Which one was a remake? It was not a remake. It was like a prequel. Was it the fourth one, right? So I think that was in 2000. So we won't talk that one yet. That's in a different video altogether. Next up is a series Matthew could talk all day about.
I could. Literally, I could.
So the first one wasn't done in the 90s, so we're not going to talk about that one right now. But we can talk about number 2, number 3, and I think number 4. Probably 5 and 6. So like,
well, 4 and 5 are done at the same time. So.
4 and 5, yeah, 4 and 5. So and those were the Puppet Master films. So Puppet Master 2 tends to be a favorite of mine, actually.
Puppet Master 2 is really good.
Puppet Master 3 is considered to be the most liked of all the Puppet Master films.
Yeah. Well, Puppet Master 2 is the last technically horror-oriented one.
Yeah. Then it goes to the comic book territory.
Yeah, and then it goes to more comic-y stuff.
And then there's Puppet Master 4 and 5, which
I really like 4 and 5, honestly. They're kind of fun. They're really fun.
You're just like...
The idea of the puppets fighting the totems are actually kind of cool. And I absolutely love that scene in Part 5 where after seeing... Like, Part 5 is done directly after Part 4. So, like, randomly in Part 5, they walk into the hotel and Torch is there, who wasn't in Part 4 at all. And they're like, oh, hey, Torch, where are the other puppets? And Torch is like... And he's like, ah, cool. And he walks by, and I'm like, you weren't in the last film, you bastard. Don't try and, like, weasel your way in, even though you're probably one of the coolest.
Yeah, when Torch is that kid in Part 2, awesome scene.
Sadly, only in 2 of the movies.
Yeah, I know.
Which sucks.
But next up are the Subspecies trilogy, which were done in the 90s, actually.
Yep.
Subspecies series I really did like. The first one is my favorite. It has, of course, what's his name, Michael Watson? Yeah, Michael Watson's only in the first one. Even though he's the star of the film, he's like the good brother. The bad brother is Anders Hove, who plays, what's the character's name for Subspecies? Radu?
Yeah, Radu.
Radu, it's on here somewhere. Radu. So basically, they're really kind of like fun films. The first one is, I think, the most serious. The mummy character really got on my nerves in Part 2 and 3.
Oh my god.
But I really did enjoy these films, and it's a really kind of cool, classic-looking, like kind of like a cross between the Nosferatu style of vampire. And Anders Hove was just born to play this part. I did really enjoy these films. So as for like vampire films in the 90s, actually, this was a pretty good one. Now, anthology horror. What happened to anthology horror in the 90s? Well, we still had it, actually. And it just usually came to either TV, when in the late 80s and early 90s from the Tales from the Crypt series, or it came like this. Tales from the Hood.
Oh, no.
Come on, dude. Tales from the Hood is directed by Rusty Conda. And it's,
can I just say?
Executive produced by Jet Li. By Jet Li.
By Jet Li?
By Spike Lee. Huge difference.
Oh my goodness, that's quite different. Might I add that the special features on this movie are interactive animated menus.
Well, you also get scene selection subtitles.
Oh boy.
No, it says and special features.
Why is this even a thing?
It's got a good cast though. Roland Cash is in this one. Corbin Bernsen, David Alan Grier, who played the whitest black man in one of those comedies. Remember? I said, you know, the fun for the whitest black man. Why do birds suddenly appear? Anyway,
next,
Tales from the Hood. I did think this was kind of fun. Cheesy but fun. It's one that I would like to see Scream Factory do down the road. I think it'd be a kind of a neat addition. Have some special features. Plus, would this not look good on a Scream Factory?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Totally would. Next up is actually 2 classics. Candyman and Candyman 2. Some people wouldn't say Candyman 2 is a classic, but I actually really do like this film. Candyman itself is kind of like a modern day urban fairy tale.
That's weird. It's a weird movie.
It's a good movie. It's a little. Its origin, it's actually pretty convoluted.
It's hilarious. He was it was like in older times, and he was a black man who was like involved with a white woman, so the town like revolted over it.
Wait, there's more than that. We have to get into.
Oh, he was also a painter.
He was also a painter, and he was painting a picture.
He's painting a picture at the
And he fell in
time.
love with it.
So they came up to him, and they cut off his hand.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, look at that! Like he cut his hand off."
Because he can't.
And then
paint
they
it, so
threw like honey all over him, so bees would attack him.
they cut off his painting hand.
His painting hand.
And then cut. Yeah, so
They put a hook in its place for some reason. They did that. They put a hook in its place, and then they like threw honey on him and made bees attack him and yelled "Candyman" repeatedly because I guess it was sweet and sort of stuff like that. And then they weren't done with him. No, they set him on fire just so he could be like burned and stuff like that. And then he finally died. That's why he's got a hook hand, controls like has like relations to bees, and is also like involved with fire and severely burned in some cases.
it's slightly convoluted, but the films themselves are really fun little films. Candyman was a movie that just came out of nowhere that nobody expected to be good, and it was. A lot of people were really disappointed with Candyman 2. I liked the cast; that was okay, and I didn't mind it at all actually.
Here's a movie that's nobody likes.
Yeah.
Nobody should like.
Adam Marcus directed this. Adam Marcus was known for doing some actually really good episodes of Friday 13th series.
This was a terrible episode.
Jason Goes to Hell, and so did the audience. Jason Goes to Hell is the last official Paramount, I guess, rating. No, it's the first New Line Friday 13th film, isn't it? Yeah, New Line did it. Yeah, it's the first New Line Friday 13th film.
Not off to a good start.
No, New Line would go on to make other Friday 13th films, and none of them would do this. Have Jason at Camp Crystal Lake. No, they decided they were going to go different and unique and artsy with it. And
I mean, I think he appears at Camp Crystal Lake at one. No, they go to the Voorhees house.
Yeah. So this one here, basically, this is a Friday 13th film.
Though to be fair, Jason is barely in the movie.
Yeah, actually, there's more Jason in Friday 13th Part 5, which doesn't have Jason, than Jason Goes to Hell, which has Jason's name in the freaking title.
Jason as a worm demon is like going from body to body.
Now, that being said, there are some good actors in this film here. John Delamay, who comes back, who was in the Friday 13th TV series. We have just a bunch. Aaron Gray's in this. Stephen Culp, who's a fantastic actor. We go on to be in Desperate Housewives. And we've got Steve Williams, the Mr. X from X-Files.
Yeah.
I think originally that character Stephen Williams was playing was supposed to be kind of like a Tommy Jarvis's character, but they couldn't get the rights to Tommy at the time. But how was the movie? It's a horrible Friday the 13th film, but I find it's like fun to watch with commentary on and just listen to the guy apologize for an hour and a half, because that's pretty much what it is. Next up is Quicksilver Highway, Stephen King, Clive Barker, giant film that I really don't remember very much of. See this one?
No.
It's a movie. I'm not going to lie and pretend I've seen everything. I just got this last week. And I know I've probably seen it a long time ago, and when I watch it again, it'll snap in my head, but obviously it didn't stick in my head enough for me to remember it. So.
Stephen King and Clive Barker, so that sounds awesome.
Yeah. Well, two other stories. Haunting Morella I just bought last week. It was a fun little film. It's really cheesy. It's not exactly... it's one of those straight-to-DVD movies, with VHS movies actually.
Nice cover, though.
Great cover, man. Yeah. So there's cover. I don't have a lot to say about Haunting Morella, but this is the style of films that will come out in the 90s. You'll see a lot of these type. We call them Skinamax films.
Oh, here's movies we can talk about.
Oh, yeah. This was actually the very first movie that I bought on DVD. Remember?
Yeah.
We bought a DVD player. And this was back in the day when I realized that when we hooked up the DVD player to our TV, all we got were these squiggly lines. I'm like, man, DVD quality is really sucky. They realized, you got to buy a box to attach to your TV so that your DVD player can actually work. Yeah, back in the day you had to do that. Wasn't in the day of just buying a game system or something. That only got a Blu-ray player. No. There's a whole bunch of stuff in between. So the first ones I ever picked up was an Artisan double feature of Wishmaster and Wishmaster 2.
Awesome movies.
I really love these films, actually. I love Part 1 and Part 2. I think they're really fun.
Part 2 is pretty cheesy, but Part 1 is, like, perfect.
Part 2 is cheesy in a good way.
Part 2...
It's cheesy in a good way. And Paul Johansson from One Tree Hill is in it. Dad of the Year.
Oh, yeah. It's a bit weird because like 2, I have the same problem with 2 that I have with Hellraiser 3, which is it gets ridiculously religious.
But it's cool. It does it in a kind of fun, silly way. And it's got some great set pieces, great some props. Which one has the casino?
That one does.
Yeah, the casino scene is freaking
Casino
awesome, man.
scene is really cool.
It's really awesome. These are really fun films. It was an attempt to like get a new mainstream franchise going. Unfortunately, horror had pretty much been burnt out at that point. So horror was going the way of the straight to a VHS at the time, and that's what happened with this one.
These are also the only 2 good Puppet Masters, or I mean, Roach Masters.
Let's talk about a thriller, a really good one. Mute Witness.
She can't speak, she can't scream, she can't beg for mercy.
Yeah, basically it's a girl that's working on a set over, I think it's Germany or something like that, in Russia, and over in Russia, and she's mute, and she's working on a movie set, and she accidentally stays behind, after the film's being shot. She has to do something, and she sees that they were making another film at the same time. They're actually making a snuff film after the movie's over. She's the only witness to it, and it's the killer. It's a chase from the killers, and she tries to get away in a place where she can't speak the language. She can't speak, and she has to get across that people are trying to kill her. It's a really good suspenseful film. Have you seen this one?
No.
You really should watch this movie. Actually,
that's cool.
Very, very good film. This would be pretty much epitomize what the 90s later on would be, to the successful part of the 90s horror. And with movies like I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh, yeah.
You would get the amply chested Jennifer Love Hewitt, a bunch of other characters. You have Sarah Michelle Gellar, Ryan Philippe, and you get Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury. He was the one that stood out the most in that film.
Did he ever, man? So being dead and all. It made him really bad.
I'm just a common fisherman.
Freddie Prinze Jr. Is in this. And actually John Galecki, who would you later on go to see act in Big Bang Theory?
Yeah, Big Bang Theory.
So
he's the first technical victim.
Yep. Really good, actually really fun film. I did enjoy this movie. I saw this in theater.
Absolutely.
And I saw the second one in theater as well.
Though the second one is not as good.
No, it's not as good. It's fun.
The stupidest reveal I've ever seen.
Yeah. And the fact that he answered the question wrong and he still get the tickets, and I guess they assume that people aren't educated enough to understand that she just answered the question wrong.
Yeah.
But I Know What You Did Last Summer. There was kind of a resurgence of the slasher film. They were trying to bring it back, but they're bringing it back in kind of like a self-referential way. Slasher films where people had watched slasher films growing up and they knew them. This one doesn't do it as much as another film that we're going to talk about in a little bit.
Yeah.
But it still rode the wave of that around that time period, and I really did like it.
Yeah.
Next up is more of a suspense type one, and it's the serial killer style film, California. Brad Pitt is an amazing job in this. He's incredible as the killer. Julia Lewis, Michelle Forbes. We got David Duchovny. If you haven't seen this, treat yourself to California. It's a really great film.
Seen.
It's in the 7 type of vein. There's not a mystery to it, but actually it's very suspenseful.
Okay. I found that interesting because 7 has Brad Pitt.
Yeah, see?
But in the reverse role.
Exactly. Army of Darkness. What can we say about Army of Darkness that hasn't already been said?
Yeah.
It's a kick-ass horror comedy.
Man, I'm looking forward to Ash vs. the Evil Dead this year.
Oh yeah, that was going to be awesome. And I'm looking forward to the Screen Factory edition of Army of Darkness.
Oh, nice. That's going to be awesome. When is that coming out, by the way? When is Ash vs. the Evil Dead?
I'm not sure. Actually, I'm looking at that.
Because I'd like to watch some of that.
Hammer was one of the things I watched growing up. And certain other people didn't, apparently. But Tim Burton was a huge Hammer fan. Johnny Depp was a huge Hammer fan. They got together to make their tribute to Hammer films, and it was amazing. If you'd watched the Hammer films growing up, if you knew anything about Hammer at all, then this movie got you on so many levels. And that movie is Sleepy Hollow. We got Christopher Walken as the Headless Horseman, who does an incredible job. It's insanely creepy. Johnny Depp is amazing, and this is Ichabod Crane. We got Christina Ricci looking frigging beautiful like Christina Ricci can do. And just an incredible film. Great cast with Christopher Lee is in this movie here, by the way. Just an amazing cast. Are you a fan of Sleepy Hollow?
I've never seen it.
Bam, bam, bam. How to see Sleepy Hollow?
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. It's Hammer.
Yeah, I don't even see anything.
Pumpkinhead 2, Blood Wings. We're talking about this one last night, actually, when we did Scream.
Yeah, we were.
This is a really fun film. It's really highly underrated as one. As dark and as ominous as the first one is. This one is just, it does have a dark scene, but it does have the kind of more of a levity, kind of like a little bit of humor there with some great stunt casting. And still, even though they didn't have the budget that the first Pumpkinhead had, they do a really passable, really good kind of like Pumpkinhead creature as well. I do like the way that this is done. I like the ending. I like the resolution to the film, and it's just really a overall cool film with a lot of great features. I know that some guys down there that I was speaking with are grabbing Pumpkinhead 2 this week for the Scream Factory Summer Fear Sale. Congratulations on that. And we got a lot of thumbs downs on those last couple of videos. Yeah. Haters gotta hate.
People don't love movie information.
Yep. That's it. Douchebags. But thank you for watching.
I did some incredibly
Yeah, seriously. Hey, douchebags. Thank you for watching.
a bunch of
Thanks for
pricks.
coming down, man. Thanks a lot. We know you love us. Lord's Evolution. Lord of Illusion.
Another one, the one I'm going to probably pick up in the sale.
Very cool. Actually, it's a good one to pick up in the sale. This one will probably come with a snazzy slipcover.
Ooh,
Yeah,
snazzy.
pretty snazzy. A lot of great features. Has director's and theatrical cut, and it doesn't cost you a fortune like Nightbreed did, And I got you Nightbreed for your birthday. Actually.
I did, but I watched it with my girlfriend. I mean, you did. I watched it with my girlfriend.
This is really cool. It's a Harry D'Amour character from the books, and played out well. I think well played by Scott Bakula. I think he did a good job. Could this movie have been better? Yeah, there could have been a lot of things that could have been done to make this movie better, but was it a bad film? No, not at all. Actually, I really did enjoy this film. That was a lot of fun. It wasn't perfect, but it was a decent watch. Now we're going to one of Matthew's favorite films that he's seen many, many times.
I've never seen this movie.
Frankenhooker. Want a date?
Okay.
Yeah. When you rent a Frankenhooker on VHS in the store back in the day, there was like this little like red button, and you press it, and that's what it would say. One day, Frankenhooker was done by Frank Henenlotter, who did a lot of really cool movies like Basket Case and films like that. I get like Cronenberg, when he does his own version of body horror type of thing. So in this one here, the scientist's girlfriend is killed, and he pretty much is in he's very sad about the fact that his girlfriend dies. So what does he do? He decides that, he's going to remake her. He's going to get some prostitutes, kill them, and remake his girlfriend. Unfortunately, she's been remade with parts of hookers and gives her sort of like a hooker type of thing going on. So she becomes Frankenhooker, and he has a chaser in 42nd Street, basically. It's very cool, very cheesy. There's a bunch of gore, but it's the funny gore. And it's a very fun film. Synapse did a fantastic job with this movie. I really did love this one. Frank Henenlotter, this one you really do have to see, dude.
Oh.
Next up are two sequels. The first one was in the 80s, so we can't talk about that one right now. But Maniac Cop 2. Maniac Cop 2 takes the ballsy thing of, if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to ruin it for you. Yes, I am. Spoiler alert. The first Maniac Cop film, which I can't talk much about, I'll tell you that Bruce Campbell was the star of it.
Yeah.
The second Maniac Cop film, Bruce Campbell dies in the first couple of minutes of the film.
Oh, snap.
He's actually killed off, and the character of Robert Davies added in here as well. And this is a great cast, by the way. We got Robert Davies, Claudia Christian. I'm actually reading off the back here, so I don't remember that much stuff. Michael Lerner, Lauren Landon comes back. We got Leo Rossi, who I really like for the Relentless films. I don't have any of the Relentless films. I really wish I did. The Relentless series was done in the 90s. That was basically started Robert Davies, actually, for the first one. Leo Rossi kind of took over. But there were films that were about chasing down a different serial killer every time. The first one was Judd Nelson. Relentless #1 is actually pretty freaking awesome. Just a bunch of actors. As Robert Zedar comes back, we got Charles Napier in this one. William Lustig does a role thing. Directs it. Larry Cohen writes it. This is Larry Cohen. Larry Cohen. I love Larry Cohen's work. Awesome stuff. We actually almost watched God Told Me To last night. We ended up watching
Waxworks, because Dad was like Waxworks 2, and I was like, Waxwork 2.
Maniac Cop 3, not half as good as the other Maniac Cop movies, and actually, really, Maniac Cop is more of a guest star in this film. Though I do like the kind of like the twist in the film. The Jackie Earle Haley subplot is actually pretty cool. I do enjoy that, and a bit of a surprise. So
it's funny because we're winding down on the 90s video, and I'm looking over at the 2000s pile, and I'm like, oh god.
Yeah, I got a lot more 2000s than I realized I had.
And this is already like a 20-minute video, so like we're already getting into it.
Get a snack for the 2000 video. Just letting you know.
Prepare a meal,
Yeah.
like a several course meal.
Yes. Scanners 2 and 3. When Scanners came out originally, it took a while before Pierre David, who was like kind of like the Roger Corman type guy. He does a lot of like genre stuff here in Canada. So you did these Scanners series, Scanners 2 and 3. They're low budget, very cheap. Second one does have David Hewlett in it, who a lot of you guys are probably going to recognize from the series Stargate Atlantis, where he played the kind of like the Doctor type character. He does a great job as the lead in this one here. Scanners 3 to Take Over is a very cheesy movie. Literally has, I think, Men in Black hats, like it's kind of bad guys type thing. It's really cheesy, but it's fun. I like the Scanners films. This one, unfortunately, was one of the lowest selling Scream Factories of all time. Part of that reason could have been the fact that you couldn't get this here in Canada. There was rights issues, kind of like the battery. Yeah, my phone's going off like crazy. So, yeah, it's the authority guys. They're talking a lot. You guys are talking a lot, man. I'll read all later. Scanners 2 and 3, awesome stuff.
This one I've seen, and I love.
Man, actually, it's
we talked about anthology earlier, and like Tales from the Hood, and I'm like, oh no, but this one,
oh yeah,
this one's sweet.
Body Bags was meant to be a TV series, but John Carpenter just didn't have the time. It has 3 great stories. One, Hair, which is like really funny with Stacy Keach.
Oh, really?
The first story, Gas Station, which I think is the best story for me.
It's supposed to be a TV series?
Yeah.
Really sad now. This is the second film in the course of 2 days where I've been like, wow, what a TV series that would have made.
Gas Station has a lot of ties to the Halloween film.
Yeah, because it takes place in Haddonfield.
It does. And there's some guest directors and everything in there as well. And, of course, there's the third one, I, which has a really great performance by Mark Hamill. Body Bags. If you haven't picked this one up, I hope you guys picked this up during Scream Factory, because this is one that really belongs in your collection. First, how many of these were done in the 90s?
1 and 2 were. 3 might have been.
1, 2, and 3 were done in the 90s. 96, 97, 99.
Oh. Okay.
So the first 3 are done in the 90s. It's a series that pretty much epitomized the 90s. There's a TV series of it now, because Matthew wants TV series of everything, so he's getting one. And
it's just better. I can watch more of it.
Is it really better? Have you seen?
No,
no. It's not a
not
bad
this
series.
case. No,
Not a bad series. Not a bad series.
it's not bad, but
The Scream series 1, 2, and 3. They were the horror films of the 90s. The ones that I kind of like helped save horror, basically. That one and
True.
Silence of the Lambs, I guess, which is I got here somewhere, but I was too lazy to get out. And as you guys should know, if you watch my 70s video, you're gonna know that I miss a lot of stuff. I'm like grabbing
Holy
stuff
crap.
from way up and stuff like that. I'm trying to get as much as I can to show off as much of my horror from that decade as I can to give a wide breadth like that. Obviously, last time around, I forgot my Phantasm films. I forgot my 70s films like Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror. But again, I apologize for that, but I actually try to get as much as I can. And it gets overwhelming sometimes when there's so many films that you're going through. So, again, Scream 1, 2, and 3. What do you think of the Scream series, the first 3?
I think 1 is really, really good. 2 is also good. I don't think it's better than 1. I know I've heard people say that before, but it's not. And 3 is nice to try, I guess. I mean, I prefer the original idea for 3, where they're gonna get Matthew Lilley back and stuff like that.
I think they should have had Herbie the Killer, actually.
I figured that would be the way we went in 4 or so as well. No.
After bitching a lot for Stanley Kubrick doing The Shining for years and years, Stephen King decided that he was going to finally do his version of The Shining. Now, we were a little nervous because last time we saw Stephen King do something that was his, he was coked out of his mind, and the movie
This is
called
Stephen
Maximum
King
Overdrive.
done right.
Well, this actually is very much closer to the book than than this. That's Stephen King's The Shining. Yes, it is a TV movie, but it's one that deserves to be on this list because we have to talk about the horror, and we talked about TV horror in the 70s, talked about TV horror in the 90s. There were a few good TV horror movies. I think when it was done in the 90s. What was it? The 90s or 2000s?
Well, it wasn't the 2000s.
Stan was in the 90s.
I think it was 90s.
And this was a really good film. I really enjoyed it. Some people thought it was stretched out, but it's a TV miniseries, so try and get in as much of the book as possible. Yes, there's a change at the end. It's kind of a cheesy change. But one thing we do have here, and I'm going to go on record as saying this, Steven Weber's Jack Torrance is a better Jack Torrance than Jack Nicholson.
On a fundamental level, yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
because actually Jack Nicholson is seriously playing Jack Nicholson for the entire film. There is no change in the character.
I can't remember a film where Jack Nicholson doesn't play Jack Nicholson, to be fair. It's like Nicolas Cage. Almost all movies are Nicolas Cage playing Nicolas Cage.
He does some good stuff.
Well, yeah, he does some good stuff.
But
most
Steven
of the
Weber
time,
has
Nicolas
a
Cage.
growth in his character. His character is nice. His character is likable. His character does turn, and we get to see it. And there's like we talk about the different aspects of it. Rebecca De Mornay is a much stronger character than Shelley Duvall is. The kid, we're not going to talk about too much. I wasn't a big fan of the kid in this one actually.
Yeah.
Kid. Okay, in the first Stanley Kubrick movie, I'm not going to say much on this. I just want to say this: that it had Shelley Duvall and Jack Nicholson. The kid in this movie actually looks like he could be the son of Shelley Duvall. I'm not saying anything else other than the fact that he actually looks like he could be the son of Shelley Duvall, and not so much the son of this Wendy, because that is Wendy in this one, by the way, guys. She's smoking hot Rebecca De Mornay.
Alrighty. Here we go. Next one.
Witchboard the Possession. I gotta be honest with you guys. I don't remember crap all about this movie.
Yeah, no, don't really remember anything.
It's a witchboard film, and there's evil people in it,
Probably.
and there's some good people in
Probably.
it. And I don't remember any, I don't recognize any actors right now. It's a movie. One of those straight-to-video 90s movies that you grab. Though I do remember this movie. I did like this movie. Where is the carrot? Jack Frost. This is fun. This is really, really fun. I thought this was going to be horrible. I got this because Shannon Elizabeth was in there, actually. Originally, because Shannon Elizabeth played the very nude scenes in American Pie.
Yeah.
But this is such a fun movie. It is so cheesy.
It's a good movie.
It's good. There's some actual inventive little kills in it.
Made, but the sequel was really funny too.
Sequel we'll talk about later in the 2000 video.
Oh shit.
I have it.
Oh great.
Frankenstein Unbound is what Roger Corman can do when he's given a budget. And what Roger Corman can apparently do when he's given a budget is make really freaking good stuff. Frankenstein Unbound has John Hurt and Raul Julia in it, and that is a great cast. Great Frankenstein monster. The Frankenstein monster in this is very reminiscent of what the Frankenstein monster that you would see in Waxworks. I'm going to show Matthew the Frankenstein monster in this right now, and he's going to see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So yeah, it's very reminiscent of the Frankenstein creature done in the movie Waxworks too. A kind of a very cool film. There's a lot of time. There's some time travel in this. We got Bridget Fonda. This is just a great film. Jason Patrick. I love this movie. I'm not going to say very much about it. It's one that I think that if you haven't seen it, you should really go out and check it out. Frankenstein Unbound was one of my favorite movies of that decade. I just really, really enjoyed that film.
I'm following it up.
I like this one. A lot of
Yeah,
people
no,
do this one.
that one's like,
Crap.
I do like that one.
But it's one of my favorites actually, and this is Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. For the longest time, I had to search this one down because I could only find a full screen version of the film. This one actually has both. It's a flipper disc and it's the full screen and widescreen version of it. This one has Robert De Niro's Frankenstein monster and Kenneth Branagh doing an amazing portrayal of Victor Frankenstein. I just thought he did a great job in the role. We got a great cast. We got a very younger Helena Bonham Carter, who everybody knows I had a huge crush on. So, yeah, Helena Bonham Carter, man.
Yeah. I like that the monster in that movie is actually intelligent, whereas they don't do that with a lot of
Oh, these films, yeah.
those films. Usually he's like dumb and like that, whereas in the original book he is not.
Yeah, he tried to make it much closer to the book.
Which is nice. I like
Next one is Matthew's favorite film of the 1990s.
I've never seen
Witchcraft 666. Now, Witchcraft films were done, most of these were done in the 90s. There's some done in the 2000s. They're basically this. You get some bad actors, you get a lot of nudity, you throw some witchcraft stuff in there, and that's what it is. It's supposed to be like a film noirish horror film, with a bunch of, this one, the naked ladies in this one are, okay, I'm not sure.
Notice that on the back it has like a Mr. Skin.
Yeah, it does that.
thing.
Mr. Skin, Pick the Click. Julie Davis, actually directed by Amy O's Julie Davis. So it's directed by a girl this time. And Mr. Skin gives a recommendation here. He says, forget green skin and pointy hands. The enchanted eyeballs of Witchcraft 666 are nubile naked and guaranteed to put a broomstick in your pants.
What the fuck? Awesome.
It's an all-region DVD. It's very hard to get now. It's actually out of print, so it's
Pick that up while you can.
it's actually it's really gonna be hard to pick up actually. Next two are actually straight to DVD type films, and I really did I like this one here. Brad Dourif is in this movie, and it is Death Machine, a movie that people watch because the cover was really awesome.
Yeah, the cover's awesome.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of it right now, but I remember back in the day I really did enjoy this film. So it's set in the year in the far future of 2003.
Really?
Really, yeah.
It's
Oh no. And next one is
the last one too, by the way.
New Concord. Yeah, is actually not bad. It's Patrick Bauchot, who's actually a really good actor. Bo Hopkins, Michelle Johnson, who you missed as the actress from Waxworks because she left.
Oh yeah.
She was the first Waxworks one there before me. And there's Blood Ties. Just a fun film. Vampire film. I did enjoy it. I don't remember a lot about it right now, so I'm not going to pretend I do.
And that was the last one. It was a weird one to end off on.
Yeah, it was actually. So the 90s overall, what are my thoughts on the 90s? Well, it's a mixed bag, obviously. I can say without much, trepidation that the 90s will definitely probably not be my decade that defines me in horror. So, but we'll talk more about the 90s when I do basically my roundup video after I do all these. So that's my 90s collection. I may have a few more around here that I just haven't seen. Maybe you got a bunch more 90s movies that I don't that you like to say, yeah, you forgot about this movie in the 90s and this one was awesome.
Well,
But I found that a lot more horror actually did come out in the 2000s, and especially in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I can see that. Like, holy crap.
Yeah, so our next video is going to be on the 2000s. Hope you enjoyed this one here. This is me and Matt, and for me right now, it's say hello to all the great deities up there that help us with our films. The lords, the phantoms, the creatures. And for me right now, I got to drink my tea because my throat is going. I spent 30 minutes talking. For me, well, it's time for tea, and I'm out of here. Matt?
You want a stinger, don't you? But there's no stinger for the 90s. There's no stinger for the 90s.
There's just plaid and depression. Plaid and depression.